Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Rep here. Listen, we did not have a Truth Seekers episode that came out live this week because my boy Soul, Brandon, he has been sick. And so, pray for your boy. Hopefully, he feels better. So, next week, we can do our next episode, which will be on idols. So, we're really excited about that. But I wanted to get on here and just share a little bit about what we talked about last week, which was the truth about the American dream. And we talked a little bit about American dream and exactly what that meant, and what to pursue when it came to that. And one of the things that I wanted to bring up was the topic of achieving or going for success, right? And the first thing we got to do is really think about what success is and define what success is, because it is really a subjective thing. It is not something that we have a set standard of what success should be. And one of the quotes that I really kind of follow is the fact that it's not about how success is not about how high of a mountain that you climb, but the faithfulness to climb the mountain that you've been given. And I think that's really, really a key thing to think about, because a lot of times we think of a certain standard, a certain goal that we have to achieve, a certain thing or level that we have to be at. And that's not the case, right? And really, God really talks about being faithful in the day to day things, the little things, right? Not just specifically the grand and amazing things. It's not about the super fancy cars or the house or the relationship or whatever it be. Success really is about the faithfulness that you have and what you've been given. And I was reading a quote by Albert Einstein, which says, don't be a man of success, but be a man of value, or be a person of value. And isn't that true, right? That's the key thing, that if we really want to succeed in life, it's not about the things, it's not about the stuff that we acquire. It's not even about the standards that we see, as we talked about last week, on social media, and the lies that you have to attain certain things or obtain certain statuses or levels in order to be seen as successful. It really is truly about being who you were created to be and being faithful in that, and trusting God for the excess. And there's a quote with that, right? There's a quote saying that it's about success, not excess, right? And I spoke a little bit about this. I had a pastor friend that did a sermon on Matthew 16, which is one of the verses, the passages we brought up last week. And it's always stuck with me, because it is truly about what we need. And God always provides what we need. And it may not look like it a lot of times in comparison to what others have, but that's okay, because we're not comparing what others have, right? We're not comparing ourselves to their successes or their callings or their journeys, right? Everybody has a different journey. Some of us may have a journey to be a CEO, and some of us may have a journey to just be a mid-level or an entry level or something like that. But what are you doing in the space that you've been called, right? What are you doing with the gifts and the talents, the abilities, the opportunities that you've been given? Okay, sometimes that may lead to greater things and bigger things. Sometimes it may just be required for you to just stay right there and have that impact and be that influence in the place that you're supposed to be. And that is true success. So when we're looking at like actually going for the American dream, I think that God truly wants us to succeed. I think that God truly wants us to live a life that is good. But we have to have a right perspective on that. And if we don't, then we are always going to be unfulfilled, and we're always going to be seeking after more, and we're always going to be unsatisfied. But if we do have that right perspective, and we seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, then we don't have to worry about all the other things that we need. It'll be provided. And the things that are in excess, if they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. But we know that our success is not dependent upon excess. So that's just a little word from your boy. Hopefully that encourages you guys. And next week we will be back talking about the truth about idols. We're really excited about that. But until then, stay seeking truth, and we'll see you next time.